Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. Before I get going in this video and do the things that I want to do, I want to just take a little minute and thank everybody. I didn't realize until after I had actually finished recording the video last time that it was our 100th video. So I have done 100 of these Sunshine Island videos, and this project has been going on for probably close to a year now, and despite all of that, people are still very supportive. I see a lot of comments still. People are still giving me hints and helping me out. I've got new viewers, old viewers, and people really give me the motivation to continue and makes me feel as if I'm doing a good job and providing something that everybody can enjoy. So thank you so much. I think it's probably a little overzealous to say that we can get another 100 videos out of this. But do remember, this is only the start of year 3, and we probably have at least another 2 years of this game to go. It has taken me a little longer than I thought, and it's been a little more involved than I thought, honestly, when I started, but I still am really enjoying this, and I don't feel bored or burnt out, so I'm really happy with how everything is going. So I have all of you to thank for that. Now, with that all said and done, I want to take the time today to watch a little event first thing before we do anything else. Because now that we are married, we can now start to see rival heart events between our rival couples that are going to get married. I've already recorded a few of these. I've had a few of these come up already, and I've recorded them off screen, but this one was happening this morning, so I thought, hey, let's just scroll through this. I'm not going to read it this time, I'm just going to kind of talk over it. But once you get married, fortunately, you don't have to worry about the friendship levels of the two people in the event. Because normally, in order to get these events, playing as a male, my heart level with Pierre would have to be at a certain level in order to be able to trigger these. And there's also requirements for what year it has to be. So these guys won't get married for quite some time. Unfortunately, we cannot trigger these events back to back. We have to wait. But I have gotten started on these events. I've seen the first event for pretty much everybody now, with the exception of Vaughn and Sabrina, simply because Vaughn is here so infrequently. And thank God it's gonna be sunny tomorrow. Hallelujah. So I haven't looked at the exact requirements for heart events, rival heart events, in a little while to give you all of those numbers in terms of what year the rival couples will get married and what your heart level has to be in order to see those if you're not married, and so on and so forth. But I have been recording them off screen, and eventually, because we've married Witch Princess, who is somebody that does not have a rival at all, we should be able to see everybody get married. So everybody that has a rival, everybody that has kind of someone that they will marry in the game, should be able to get married. So I really like that. I do believe that this is actually the last Harvest Moon game in the entire series to have rival marriage. And then for some reason they just completely stopped after this. And I don't know why, because I really like the rival marriage system. I like that it's not just you getting married. It seems a little weird to me that you have a bunch of young people, or, you know, younger people in the village who are all of the same sort of younger age where people would kind of get married and start a family. And if they don't marry you, then they just don't get married at all. It just seems so weird to me. So I'm going to work on that as we go. And now that I'm at Gannon's, I was able to chop down some branches last night and throw them into my shed. I now have 276 pieces of lumber of my own. You can see that the harvest sprites are here, and it is our first day of enchanting, so we're able to buy an upgrade from Gannon. So we had a look at what his menu looked like yesterday. And they have done a pretty significant drop in cost. I feel like that's a lot more than we've seen previously when we've had them do some enchanting for us. They've dropped the lumber cost from 700 pieces to 560 pieces, which is very, very generous, in fact, especially if we're buying that lumber on our own. And then for our maker shed, they've dropped it even further. They've dropped it from 1,000 pieces of lumber to 800 pieces of lumber. So it is still going to be incredibly expensive for us to get both of these upgrades, but I think it is worth doing. We do have the money to do it, and these are both two upgrades that I've really wanted for quite some time, and they're both necessary. The house upgrade is necessary to have a child, and the maker shed is necessary in order to get access to some more makers. This gives us some more options in terms of how to use some of our products. We'll get access to the thresher, the flour mill, and the quality improver, and we need a few of these things in order to get sunstones as well. So I am still going to have to pay $50 per piece of lumber from Gannon, so we can buy 99 of them at a time. We're going to buy a few stacks and put them into our supply shed. And if we were to buy all 560 pieces of lumber, we would be spending $28,000 in lumber, which is still quite a bit. It's a very considerable amount. But even still, we will be saving money by not asking Gannon to do it for us. So how much do we have? We have enough, right? It was 560, so we have 573 pieces of lumber. So if you had to buy all of that lumber and you had to pay the upgrade cost, it would come out to about $78,000, which means that you're still saving $12,000 by not asking Gannon to just do this himself. So it seems kind of mind-boggling that you would just pay Gannon for his own lumber, but it is definitely still worth it. You still do save quite a considerable amount of money. So we're going to have Gannon upgrade our house. We are left with $186,000, which I think is okay because the maker shed upgrade should cost us about $50,000 if I've done my calculations correct. So we're spending a lot of money. We're gonna probably feel very, very poor. And because it's the start of spring, it's going to kind of take us a little while to recoup from those losses. But there's no real point in saving on to all that money and holding on to it and refusing to let it go, because, I mean, if you're not buying things, what's the point? There will reach a point in this game where money is pretty much obsolete and there's no real point in having it, but we haven't reached that point yet. We still have things to buy. And then just coming back to the farm, I've already done all of my animal care. You can see at the top of where I've planted all of my crops, I decided to have a look at how much I could fit in these 2 rows that I usually use to grow crops. And as you can see, I can actually fit 4 more spaces. 4 more 3x3 squares where I can grow some crops. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put some more turnips over here. And now that I've staggered the growing, hopefully these turnips will come in a few days before these ones, and then I can decide at that point whether I want to plant more or not. And I'm hoping with some sunshine tomorrow we will be able to have some more progress on these crops, because if it rains much more, I'm very, very worried that some of them aren't going to grow very quickly or that they are going to drown. But Taro did say it was going to be sunny tomorrow, so fingers crossed. That's all I can really hope for. And that was most of what I wanted to cover in this video. Because I've been doing videos back to back to back, I haven't had a lot of time to play. We're running into the same problem that I had at the end of the year as well, where I had the wedding and I had all these blizzards and I had all these things happening, and I wanted to play, but I couldn't for whatever reason. And I've already talked about a lot, I feel. We're only a few days into spring, but we've had a lot happen. And then before we know it, I want to do a video tomorrow as well, because I want to look at our house upgrade. And I also need to get another upgrade and cover a few more things. So I've got stuff to talk about tomorrow as well. And then before you know it, I will be covering the Harvest Goddess Festival on the 8th. So time really does fly. I feel like we just started spring, and we did, but there's always just so much going on. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of lumber laying around. I picked some up yesterday. I was kind of hoping to see if there was any more lumber laying around so I could collect it and chop some of it. Because even if I manage to put 20 pieces of lumber into the shed, that's 20 pieces of lumber that I don't have to buy. And when you think about the fact that lumber is $50 each, it does save you a little bit of money. I can't imagine now running around at normal speed without the speed shoes. By the way, now that I have them, I would be so much later on the clock if that was the case. But I'm only at 4:30 and I'm pretty much done for the day. So at this point now, I can put out the remaining lumber that I have in my inventory at the moment, and then chop that down. Which will give us a few pieces. And I am hoping for a few days of sunshine. I would really like to bring the animals out here. I feel like the chickens probably at this point miss being outside. I think this is the longest they've had to stay in the coop for quite some time. I don't even think I got this many days of snow back to back in the wintertime. It's been rain, 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 but I will take rain over a storm, of course. I don't want it to have a typhoon outside. So this is the kind of stuff I just do when I have time left over in my day. The other thing that I need to do if I have some leftover time is to go up to the rice paddy and start putting a dent in that. I need to start getting that ready so that I can plant some rice, which again is just another cost. I'm gonna spend a lot of money on rice right now, and it's gonna take me until probably end of summer or fall to be able to get some money from that. So you can see that took a few in-game hours, and thankfully I have that time due to the speed shoes, of course. And at this point my fullness is getting a little bit low, so I would probably come over to the diner now and have something to eat. I missed lunchtime at home. I forgot to go home and get something to eat from Witch Princess, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put that lumber in my shed, and then I'm pretty much ready for bed at this point. Or at the very least, I'm ready to stop this video. So we got 25 pieces to put into our shed. We're gonna need a lot of lumber for tomorrow. And unfortunately, we only have 38 pieces, which means that we need to buy 700 and something pieces. 762 pieces, I think. So that is not going to come cheap. I'm not looking forward to paying for it, but I am looking forward to our beautiful new house that we can see in the morning tomorrow. And as much as it is going to hurt my wallet, I am looking forward to also getting that maker shed put in just in time for Gannon's shop to close on Sunday. So that's all I have. I will be back tomorrow. I do have a few more things to cover in tomorrow's video, so stay tuned. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.